in here, basically. Let's go into our game, guys. We've been waiting long enough. It's been 10-15 minutes since StarTale Life wrapped things up for StarTale against Red Bloods. So let's get straight on into the second best of 7 of the night. Hope you're all still as energetic and lively and excited for StarCraft as I am. So guys, without any further ado, we're going into King Sejong Station to start off a TVP between Team Extreme Supremacy, Star Eagle, and Vega Squadron Cruelty. Now, his name right now is Chayok, but I'm going to call him Cruelty because that's how I know him. If I try and call him Chayok, I'm going to go back to calling him Cruelty anyways. So Cruelty equals Chayok, that's what you need to know for this cast. And yeah, so we're just waiting to get into this game. We're on the load screen right now, I promise you guys. In fact, there you go, you can see the load screens. King Sejong Station, we're all loaded, so it should be all good to go as we do load up into this. And here we go, best of 7 all kill series number 2 of the night, and we're going to be starting in the lower right hand corner with our player from Vega Squadron down here in the pink. It's Cruelty. In the upper left hand corner though, we do have, well, okay, let's just take a moment to talk a little bit about Vega Squadron. Currently 5th in the league. Last season they came 2nd. 5th in the league, currently out of that playoff position after a loss in week 5 to Alternate and a loss in week 2 to My Insanity. And they've been struggling for a little bit as well. Now, it looks as though they've been on a little bit on the up. They came back from the loss against Alternate quite strongly with a win 4-1 over Mouse Control. And I would say Team Extreme Supremacy, Nuit Blanc, and EC Visualizer, all teams they can definitely beat in the coming weeks. So I think Vega Squadron are going to start going on a bit of a rise here in the next few weeks with the opponents they have to come. I think they've beaten a lot of their harder opponents already in the league. So, in the upper left-hand corner, we have our Team Extreme Supremacy player. It's the Red Terran player from Italy. It's Star Eagle. Team Extreme Supremacy, they had a really tough start to the season, as we're going to see in a couple of moments. But they really did fight back. 4-0 against Fox in week 4, 3-4 against Nuit Blanche in week 5, and a 4-1 victory against ECV. They play against Vega, which is probably going to be their toughest match for a while here, because next week they'll have a walkover against New Era Gaming, and in week 9 they play Skillforge. So Team Extreme Supremacy also in a position where they can just go upwards and upwards basically from this point. Now if we look at the graphs here, you can see that even if these teams are doing that great, again, Vega Squadron, they won a match, they lost a match. If you follow this kind of darker blue line, they won a match, then they lost a match, and then, you know, they went on a couple of games winning, then they lost one and won one. So, you know, they're doing okay. They're doing better than Team Extreme Supremacy, who went on a massive losing streak and then slowly managed to kind of pull it back. Their lines are actually the wrong colour. The lighter red one shows their match difference. So they lost a couple of matches, brought it back a couple of matches, lost one, won one. So, you know, they're up and down. But, you know, they really have recovered quite heftily. Again, at the start of the season, they were losing by a large distance, as you can see from the map score, the darker red line. So they were losing by a huge distance in the first few weeks, and then they brought it back. They only lost by a small amount in week 5, and then they won in week 6 to put their map score positive for the first time this season. So, quite intriguing. I'm quite liking these graphs. They show us some pretty cool things. As we do have an Engineering Bay block coming down for Star Eagle on the natural of Cruelty, who is getting his Mothership core out right now, and a Stalker as well. Just a single gas for him, so looking as though it's just going to be a 1 gas expander, although no warp gate just yet. So looking as though he wants to head across this map quite quickly to try and get a little bit of damage done, because he is delaying that warp gate. So we'll see how this goes as the game continues. Single SCV gets picked off here, but it did get into that base, and it did manage to spot that just a single gas was up, so he got all the information he really wanted out of this, as the Mothership core will begin to move across the map here. Command Center coming down the low ground for Star Eagle. Reaper jumps into the main base. Stalker and Mothership core completely out of position to deal with this, so Star Eagle going to start doing some damage to these probes, picks off one of them, and a second probe now under attack as well. Cruelty is not responding to this at all. Second Stalker's about to pop out of the gateway here, but I mean, he's taking so much damage, and now the Reaper will jump in here. Third probe kill, and will still get out to tell the tale of this battle in the main base, and 3 worker kills on that Reaper is a good job. Natural still denied by an Engineering Bay. Natural expansion for our Terran player denied though by the Mothership core, so both these players put a little bit of a dent in each other's builds very early on here in this game. Let's see if he looking as though he wants to come back into the fight. 2 more Marines about to pop out, and 4 Marines should be enough to turn this Mothership core away in Cruelty. He expects that and does turn it away. He has cleaned up this Engineering Bay as well finally, so we can see a natural expansion begin to come down. Another Stalker being chrono boosted out here, so 2 Stalkers coming across the map. And without a bunker, these Stalkers and Mothership Core combined could do a little bit of nice little bit of micro work against these initial Marines here, try and pick off a few of these and maybe even deny the command center a little bit longer, depending on how much damage they can do and how quickly they can do it. So, well, straight away here, they're going to pick off nearly picking off a worker. They do pick off that Reaper. Time Warp's going to be very effective here. Mothership Core going to start moving back. The Stalker's slowly working down on a couple of Marines. The control here is pretty nice. The Mothership Core continue to take damage. It does go down. And one of these Stalkers will fall as well. Not the best of control here by Coolty, and he will actually stick around a little bit too long. He gets that SCV kill, and he will just get away with the last Stalker. So he just manages to keep this alive. Another Stalker on the way across, but he won't commit too much further with this. Back at home, his Nexus is finally on the way up, and we're waiting to see where he's going to go from here. He's going to add on the Forge. So Forge on the way here for Coolty. He's going to continue on in this game however he sees fit to do so. And yeah, I mean, right now that is basically by saying I'm going to get my upgrades and just get into a stronger position in the mid game. Kind of interesting to see the Forge come down before a Robo Facility, for example. Generally, observers are so valuable that you want to get them out as soon as possible. But, you know, still, I'm sure that Robo Facility is going to come down very shortly. He's got lots of gas saved up. He's got a lot of money banked up, actually, for this kind of early state of the game. So, I expect to see that coming down pretty soon here. And there it is, the Robo Facility being popped down. So, Coolty making his tech choice here in this game. And it's looking as though it's just going to be a very standard PvT between these two guys for now. Concussive Shells and Stimpack on the way. I kind of like this from the Double Tech Lab. Getting the Concussive Shells so you can catch any, you can move out with this first Marauder. And if any Stalkers are just a little bit AFK, they will be caught off guard and they will be punished by that Concussive Shell. So this is quite cute if he does decide to move out. A couple of Marauders being added on as well. I mean, you saw a very heavy Stalker count early on, so I actually do like this choice to go into a few more Marauders than you would usually see at this sort of point of the game. So I'm liking this so far. Cool little decisions being made here from our Terran player. Another Marauder pops out here. He's going to join this little crew of units, and they are going to begin moving across the map, it would seem, right now, as Coolty just sitting back here in the natural expansion. Roadway on the way for him, +1 armor coming up. It's a very old school build from Coolty, getting this +1 armor nice and quickly and so on. And yeah, stream is choppy. You know what I've forgotten to do? I apologize. I've actually forgotten to press pause on my stream playback, so that's actually probably affecting it a little bit there, guys. So I do apologize for that. That's my own fault. And let me just close a few extra tabs as well. There we go. It should be a lot better now, guys. So sorry about that. I believe my FPS is okay. It's not the best. Anyways, we do have this little unit coming forward, little group of units coming forward just as Coolty pauses. So yeah, the stream should be a little bit nicer now to watch. If not, I might actually have to go and play with my settings a little bit more. What league are these guys? Both these guys are Grandmaster. Vega Squadron, a very strong team. I mean, they got second place in the team league last season. Team Extreme Supremacy did not play last season, but they have a very strong lineup. They've got Beastie Cutie on their team. They've got a bunch of great players who can really do some damage. And I mean, I really do feel as though now is the point where Team Extreme Supremacy in the league will start to rise again. So I'm kind of excited to see that happen. We're still in a pause here. No worries, Darfkush. I wasn't saying you were being a dick or anything. If the stream's choppy, you know, it's not cool. It's not fun to watch, is it? So, well, just waiting here, guys. Waiting for the pause to come out. Guess we should move here. Oh, well, go, call just as I say it. Or just as I go. Okay, called, and here we go, straight in here. Coolty actually pops and Photon Overcharge onto that Nexus, responding to this attack very well. And for now, Stoical will just back off, but he's baited some of that energy off that Mothership Core, which is great, of course. We're only just finishing here. We're talking about these Colossi being fairly delayed because of this Forge coming down earlier. With the first Colossi on the way, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Factory's up here for Star Eagle. No Starport just yet. Fairly quick third command center from him, though. So really looking to just favour economy over aggression right now. As he leaves a single Marine at that third base as well. A nice scan to pick off an Observer too. And things looking good right now for our Terran player, playing this out quite nicely at this moment in time. So sending another Marine out, looking as though he's just going to take the map control, take another tower over here. And just spot in case any War Prison heads up that right hand side of the map. First Colossus is about to pop out here, no extended thermal lance just yet though. Coolty has the gas but not really the minerals to afford that. So, you know, you should be able to get it in a few moments, and there it does come down, extended thermal lance, as this Marine does occupy this tower. Observer going to be watching for any reinforcements coming across the map. Hasn't really looked in towards the main base of Star Eagle, so you can't actually confirm how fast this third command center is. There's the 4th and 5th barracks coming down here as well. +1's about to finish up for our Terran player very shortly. Of course, +1 already finished on armor for our Protoss player, but +1 attack now coming out of this forge. Twilight Council on the way to continue with them upgrades into +2/+2 as well in the future. Terran army going to start moving back. No reason to be out here until he reinforces a little bit, and some units. Some SCVs going to transfer to the third. Now, if Coolty was watching, he will have seen them SCVs transferring, and he will be able to basically confirm that a third base is now up and running for his opponent. And now he should maybe start considering his own third base in the next minute and a half or so. I mean, you don't want to take the third base as soon as the Terran player takes it. You want to make sure you're safe and secure before you can take it. And, you know, it's very standard for the Terran player to build up a bit of a better economy, because generally the Protoss player goes for tech, so he doesn't need as much economy because he has a stronger army. Whereas the Terran player is going to be training a little less efficiently, but you have a larger army and a bit of a better economy to keep remaxing with. So, you know, that's the general way TVP works in the mid-game. And right now it actually looks as though Coolty's actually just interested in moving out. Kind of interested to see him add on Blink if he is just planning on making this one big all-in, because Blink's not really going to come into this anytime soon. Third Colossus, where are you? Just popping out right now. So, I mean, he is going to go for this. He's moved across the map, but I'm not sure how efficient this will really be. Scan comes down here to try and spot this army, but doesn't see it just yet. And every second that passes, Star Eagle will begin to ask himself, what are you doing? Because you don't have a third base. And without a third base, you're becoming more and more likely to be all in, which is what this is looking like right now. With their extra gateways coming in, we're seeing, what, going to be 9 gateways in total or so? Or just 7, okay, it's just going to be 7 gateways in total. I mean, he's got Blink behind this, he can go into +2/+2 behind this, but generally this is a very aggressive move, and, I mean, he really is committing to this right now, but he does have backups available to him as well. So we're going to see Coolty moving in here in just a few moments' time, and mine does burrow. I can't really walk into that just yet. I don't know actually where the observer is. There was an observer. I think they've all been picked off though, so no observer right now. As Coolty gets into a pretty nice position here, kind of the more choked up position. He does begin to target down this base, and Stim should come in very shortly. SCV's looking as though they're going to be pulled as well. Star Eagle doesn't want to fight just yet. He's actually going to try and wait out for +1 armor. It's only 20 seconds away. The longer he waits, the better this gets for him, as the Protoss army continues to move forward, continues to try and force this attack. And here we go. The Stim comes down. The SCV is all stuck in the back, lifts the command center to give himself a little bit more space. The Vikings are trying to target down the Colossi, but there's not that many of them. Colossi number 1 does go down. The rest of the Vikings will be targeted down, though, very, very quickly here. Coolty taking a lot of damage, though. No more Zealots, and Mine's actually burrowing in from behind. And without any Zealots to tank, the rest of this bio army can come forward very quickly. It's another Colossus goes down, and there's the third down and dead, leaving only gateway units here. Coolty types out GG, and Star Eagle will take game number 1 in this best of 7 all kill to get this series off to a nice rolling start here today. So, GG, well played. And to Team Extreme Supremacy up 1-0 right now in this best of 3. A very important match this, because Team Extreme Supremacy, if they win this, actually go level with Vega Squadron in the position in the league. And they could even overtake Vega Squadron depending on the score. So that's very important, because again, Vega Squadron, one of these teams we're expecting to make the playoffs tonight. So, hope you guys are all ready for our second game of this best of 7. We're going to go in game right about now. So without any further ado, guys, let's introduce our players. We're going to be starting off in the lower left hand side of the map with our blue Protoss player from Team Vega Squadron. Again, last season's runners up, but if they lose here today, not looking so great to make the playoffs anymore. DMC right now playing for them in the lower left hand corner. And I say, you know, not looking so great to make the playoffs because they'd be 4-3. Generally, to get into the playoffs, you're looking at 7-4 as your worst possible match score with a really good map score. So that's generally what is expected of you to get into playoffs. So if you're 4-3, that leaves you with 4 matches to play, and you can only lose 1 of 4 matches. So it really begins to put the pressure on. You know, still anything can happen. I mean, Red Bloods, their playoff place isn't secured yet, and they're 6-1. But it's a lot more promising for them because they only need to win a couple of matches, and then they're pretty much guaranteed. So, you know, it really is a big game here today. You know, they really want to just extend their lead and extend their match score, not let it get any worse than it is now. And it's not bad. it's just not brilliant, not as brilliant as we expect for Vega Squadron, last season's runners-up. We expect them to be coming into this tournament and making the playoffs without too much of an issue, but so far that's not really been the case. Guys, let's introduce our other player in this game right now. He's just taken down Coolty on King Surgeon Station. Let's see if he can do the same against DMC. In the upper right from Team Extreme Supremacy, it's Star Eagle. And the same kind of applies here to Team Extreme Supremacy. A loss today puts them at 3-4, and then they have to win every single one of their matches from this point on. And that's never going to be an easy job to do, especially when I believe they still have to play My Insanity. So, I mean, you know, they really don't want to lose today. They really want to basically win every game. And again, Vega Squadron is going to be one of their biggest challenges because it's going to be one of the tougher teams that remain. So if they can get over Vega Squadron, a lot is going to be possible here. As again, we have an engineering bay block denied a little bit faster this time, so DMC going to be able to break out of this a little bit sooner than Coolty was, as Zelda is actually going to be allowed to finish here as well. So having spotted this, this engineering bay block isn't really too much of an issue at all. It's going to go down before a Nexus is able to be made anyways. As Reaper is coming across here looking to try and deny this. I do believe that this was actually a flash build. I remember seeing some guys discussing it. I can't remember who exactly. I remember someone discussing having done it though, and that saying that they got the build from Flash, and also kind of the whole engineering bay block thing and whatever else involved in it. But this is a little bit different from last time because we actually still have 3 workers on gas here, so it looks as though we're going to have a factory coming up here very, very soon for Star Eagle to go alongside this reactor, which is coming up. I'm kind of wondering where I've got that from now, because I must have gotten it from somewhere if I'm thinking it. I really can't remember though. So yeah, into our next game. We do have a Stargate coming up very quickly here actually for DMC before his expansion, so this is something which Star Eagle, has he seen that double gas? Yes he has, so it's something you could definitely be expecting. This Stargate doing a good job of just zoning out the Reaper for now, but now it is going to find a way in towards this main base, so it is going to spot the Stargate here. However, we're going to see that, you know, the Oracle's already about halfway out here, so, you know, spotted but not the end of the world, as Reaper will not go down. Wow, just escaped one single hit point there. And back at Star Eagle's base, he's got a factory on the way up, a second barracks as well, and an engineering bay. So things are all looking pretty good for him. I'm kind of confused. I think that factory should come down a bit sooner because he really is stacking up a lot of gas here. Almost definitely going to see a starport straight away, I would imagine. Get some mines out as well to help against this initial Oracle. So, Oracle on the way across the map. I mean, the engineering bay is only just finished, so no turret just yet. The production for that has just begun. Nothing in this bunker, and that means that's going to be one easy pick-in on a single SCV at the natural here. He will now move in towards the main base to see what else he can do. He runs straight into a group of Marines, loses some shields on the Oracle, nothing more. And so, he will just get it. Whoa! Loses a little bit of hit points there, so that wasn't so great then. He loses about, you know, 2/3 of the hit points on the Oracle here. 2/3 is actually 3/5 of the hit points. Nearly got it. So yeah, this is like, what, 3/5 of the hit points on that Oracle. Almost 2/3. The shields will regen a little bit to give it, you know, a little bit more, you know, it can still be a little bit aggressive, but he has to be very, very careful about it. Single mine beginning to move across the map here. This will actually be picked off by the Oracle. Will begin to burrow, but will not be in time. And the Oracle picks off the mine to get its 3rd kill here in this game. No further Oracles being made from DMC. And right now he's just going to continue teching up with a Twilight Council. Blink halfway done. So with Starport finishing, we're going to see a medevac out. We're going to see these mines become very useful because they're going to be able to move around in medevacs and begin being dropped in the back of mineral lines, and, you know, trying to be annoying, picking off whatever they can. With this blink though, I'm intrigued to see what DMC is going to try and do. He's going to be very good at actually hunting down their medevacs and picking them off with blink. So yeah, these blinks will be useful. I wonder if he could add on a bunch of gateways and try blink all in, but I don't really see him doing that. I think he's just going to go into Robo Bay with this blink already up and just go from there. I mean, blink is still a valid opener. I mean, he can take a lot of map control with it. He can try to pick off it. You know, he can take a lot of map control. He can be out on the map. He can delay pushes quite nicely. So it's quite a nice opening. It has to be used well though. And I mean, he is moving across the map here, but we're only seeing 3 gateways from him. So with only 3 gateways, there's no way this is some kind of all-in. It's just going to be a light bit of pressure. Going to get his Robo Bay up behind this. Now Star Eagle does see these Stalkers moving across the map with a single Marine, and immediately here, if I'm Star Eagle, I think Stalkers moving across, blink play definitely going to be on the way. Now mine and 4 Marines coming across, as first mine has already gone off, and look at this, he's just going to trade with SCVs on this bunker here. And he's doing a really nice job. He loses 1 single Stalker, but gets 4 or 5 SCVs. Now let's watch this medevac as it does come in here. Going to try and get some damage done. First observer is out. Not sure where exactly it is though, and it is going to burrow. And Oracle has Envision anyway, so that's going to be able to shut that down. And Marine's going to drop off in the back of this natural. And they're actually picking up a fair few kills here. That was 6 workers killed for DMC and 3 for Star Eagle. So he's going to get out of here. Pretty even trade so far. I mean, 36 SCVs to 44 probes. It's fairly even all around. First Colossi on the way out, a third base on the way. 4 Marines alone are not going to be enough to take this down. Medevac picked off, that blink being utilised here, and these Marines picked off as well. So, what's the next move for Star Eagle? Well, Stim is just about to finish here, and he does have +1, so he has a pretty decent upgrade advantage. No Forge just yet for DMC, and I mean, this will open an opportunity for Star Eagle to move across the map and try and get some damage done. There's not many Zealots out, it's only really these Stalkers. And this observer does see the army coming across the map, so he knows this army is here. He's going to try maybe pick off a medevac or 2 with the Stalker. He's going to get a mine actually. So there's 1 mine, he's going to get the second mine as well. And he gets all of that for free, so not too bad to begin with here. Here comes a Stim forward though, forcing these Stalkers to blink backwards. And yeah, there's that Stalker getting cleaned up here. So, Colossus coming forward, and I mean, with the photon overcharge, it's going to be more than enough to actually keep the third base alive for now. Star Eagle turned away for a little while here. Some extra gateways being added on. Going up to 6 gates, not too weird considering he's on 3 bases. Still no forges. So really just focusing on pushing everything he can into pretty much just Blink Stalkers and Colossus production. As he's going to start taking a little bit more map control, taking another tower here. Oracle Patrol on this side of the map, acting as an observer. And of course, any drops which come in here, you can drop Revelation on to keep a further track of them. So let's see if he does do that, as these 2 medevacs are heading in that direction right now. The rest of the units are going to be heading towards the right-hand side of this third base to try and get a little bit of damage done. Okay, so let's watch DMC's vision here. He sees right now there's medevacs moving in, and does he see it with the Oracle? Is he paying attention to his minimap? The answer is yes, he does. And he does start to warp in some units immediately here. Stalker's coming in as well. He sees the small army coming forward at the same time. Colossi will fall back, and Zealots will begin to tank. These units do drop off in the main base. Stalker's coming in, and this is enough Stalkers to probably take this down with a couple of Zealots to back them up, but on their own, I'm not too sure. The Marines, okay, with the Oracle it will be enough, and a Blink forward just isn't enough to take down a medevac. Gets it down to half hit points. Well dealt with there by DMC. He dealt with this aggression very nicely. He didn't lose anything too significant. A few Zealots here and there. Cleaned up a few units for his opponent, and turns this around. So this is really nice hold from DMC so far, and a nice blink again. Really utilising the blink throughout this game. Almost picks off another medevac, and even though it's not being picked off here, even though it's not being picked off, it's very low, and it basically forces this medevac to either fall back or to be dead the next time it comes forward. So both Roll medevacs just going to head back home right now. Star Eagle has got his third base up and running. Second starport on the way in for him here. So he will be able to increase his Viking production. But look at this. We've got a pros player on the hunt across the map. He's very nearly going to catch these medevacs coming in. In fact, he's just a little bit away from them. And he actually will spot them here. So he can maybe get them. He blinks forward and there's 1. And of course, with units in that medevac there, it's a lot of supply which isn't in the fight right now for Star Eagle. So DMC have a good opportunity to move forward here and do a little bit of damage. The Oracle providing the vision with the Envision once again to take down the mines there. And I mean, there's just not the Viking count. The second starport's not been up long enough. No, Viking production's been held off for so long, and now the Colossi are just going to have a complete free reign here. There's no real Zealots to tank, so it's just down to the Stalkers. But I mean, these Colossi, they can keep counting back as 1 does fall. But damage already being done. In fact, TMC's taken a huge lead already in this game, and he just needs to keep these last couple of Colossi alive. And I mean, the Stalker's blinking forward. He doesn't even need the Colossi to finish this off, as another big round of Stalkers comes in. And the last Colossus is not even going to go down now. As I say last, the second Colossus is not going to go down. DMC takes the game, and he evens up this series. And Vega Squadron and DMC takes the series to level peg right in game right now. And we're actually going to be starting off with our player in the upper left-hand corner with some freshly updated information. Thank you to, was it X-Fluffy? X-Fluffy. in the chat who pointed out that some of the information was wrong for Team Extreme Supremacy. Now it's all up to date, and they are sending out Beastie Cutie, their pink Terran player, in the upper left-hand corner here. What I really need to do is get this logo for Team Extreme Supremacy, because it looks pretty awesome. I mean, the current logo that I've got on that screen is pretty cool as well, but this one looks sick with all the, you know, the yellow and the panthers like really roaring, right? It looks really scary. It reminds me a lot of the Cascade logo, but I like the color scheme a little bit better here, which is good. Okay, so in the upper right-hand corner, we have from Vega Squadron taking game number 2 to level out the series. It's the Red Protoss player. It's DMC here for a second PVT, our third PVT of the night, and well, third PVT in a row here. And looks as though we're just going to have a standard opening. Now, if you don't know how Beastie Cutie plays, I can tell you straight up, he just plays nice, standard, simple macro games. He's a macro beast. So don't expect to see anything too crazy from him other than just a macro game. It's going to be DMC who we have to keep our eyes on here, I imagine, to see what exactly he is going to be getting up to throughout this game. So I kind of mistakenly said that if someone donated 50 euros in the chat that I would get my boobs out. I'm pretty sure that was a bad idea, but I'm really hoping, no one, I'm actually genuinely really hoping, please actually don't, I'd rather you guys didn't donate. Yes, I really would rather you guys didn't donate. So, shout out as well to Bright Noom, who's just hit that follow button as well in the last couple of minutes, so thank you very much. First Reaper on the way out here for Beastie Cutie, is going to be heading across the map here in a couple of moments, so let's keep our eyes on this as it does begin to head across the map here to get this game underway, get the exciting part of this game underway. Reactor is down here for Beastie Cuties, continue to mine gas as well, so looking as though we're going to have a factory follow-up for this. So, Beastie Cutie is just going again for a very standard build, I would say. I mean, a little bit of aggression will come out if he does open with the factory play, but 1-1-1 opens are pretty safe as well. You know, you get mines out to deal with oracles quite fast. Might see some Hellions as well. You know, we'll wait and see. As we're going to see DMC again on this double gas very early on in the game, so looking as though he might very well throw down some kind of tech just after this Nexus goes down, because the gas is beginning to build up a little bit here, so we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. Accidentally putting one too many in the gas there, but fixes that very quickly, as our replay is about to come in here at the start for the first time and see what is up. Already seen the Nexus is a good start, and for now Beastie Cutie says that's all I want to see. Doesn't feel there's anything else too important to actually spot just yet. However, there is a Stargate on the way. So what I think Beastie Cutie is basically saying is, right now, he's basically saying to himself, right, well, here's the deal, like, you know, right now if I go in there, I'm probably just going to see nothing, because it's not really the time a robo comes down until, you know, for another 15 seconds or so. So he's not really, you know, he's kind of just saying, the standard build, I wouldn't see anything just yet. So yeah, DMC, he throws down a Stargate, however, very quickly because of this double gas. And so, you know, there was something to see, but Beastie Cutie didn't deem it necessary. Now, we do have double Widow Mine on the way, and it very much is the case that, whoa, we got Phoenix on the way. This is exciting. Now, what's DMC seeing? Nothing at all. So, it may just be DMC knows how Beastie Cutie likes to play, and Phoenix are a very good way, personally, I feel, to shut down a 1-on-1 opening, because you can shut down the medevacs. Reaper doesn't see anything at all. You can shut down the medevacs, you can shut down the jobs, you can lift up mines or Hellions or whatever's starting to harass you. And look at this, a Banshee on the way. So it's actually going to be a perfect counter here from DMC. It's kind of like a blind counter in all honesty, but I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of thought which has gone into this. I'm sure, you know, he hasn't just said, haha, you know what I mean? I'm sure he hasn't just said, haha, I'm going to randomly go Phoenix. I'm sure this is probably a thing which he says, right, I know Beastie Cutie likes to play this style lately, so I'm just going to go for it. And another Phoenix on the way. Oh, what a scan though. Reveals the Phoenix, and does he just cancel the Banshee now? May very well be the best way to go about this. So he's going to let it finish. I mean, he does have Cloak on the way, and there is not any detection out quite yet, so that could work very well in his favour, as two Hellions are going to begin moving across the map. So a couple of Hellions move across here, and these are spotted by the Phoenix, which, well, it's going to come in here. They're going to see that there's a Cloak on the way on this starport. This first Banshee is already heading across the map here. And I mean, what is going to be used for detection? I imagine, a Robo Facility added on, he could start an Oracle if he really feels the need to. As the first two Hellions actually already in this mineral line, and this is kind of nice. You know, any workers they soften up now will be easy target for the Banshees later. Unfortunately, I mean, they don't soften up that many, but they did get a few kills there. 3 kills to open up the worker damage in this game. First Banshee position poised, ready to go in once this cloak finishes up. In production, Oracle on the way, but it's going to be a little while before that's out, as the Phoenix are kind of waiting, trying to hunt down a Banshee out here on the map, but they're not sure exactly where they want to be. So, these Phoenix are moving around as Banshee does come in now, so probes are going to start going down, and I mean, there's no detection, so there's nothing you can do quite yet. He's just going to have to take this damage, and I mean, it's a lot of damage being done. Photon Overcharge popped, but what's Photon Overcharge without the detection? Here's the Oracle now, so this Banshee's going to go down, but he's just going to target down another probe or two, and there we have it, 11 workers killed, giving Beastie Cutie an 8-worker lead here in this game. Third command center over halfway done. And is he going to just play mech? Because now he's adding on a Raven as well. A tank also. It's an interesting composition. He has another Banshee comes into the main base. Phoenix and Oracle on the way over. This Banshee's picked up 6 kills already. There's the 7th. And that takes us up to 18 workers killed. And that's actually now going to be a 15 worker advantage for Beastie Cutie here in this game. And off of triple orbital very soon. He is going to be storming ahead in terms of economy. And DMC is taking what I feel is just a little bit too much damage early on. Now, second factory will confirm that this is going to be a mech play out of Beastie Cutie here in this game. So, third Nexus on the way here for DMC. And it's a very early third Nexus, but I feel you can definitely get away with this on this map. Or not necessarily on this map, but in this matchup when he's playing against mech. Generally, the rules kind of swap from when the Terran player plays bio. The Protoss player suddenly essentially becomes the bio player. They're the player who needs to get a big economy. They're the player who's going to be fighting against this mech death ball a lot sooner than they get their own death ball up. So it's very important to get that economy nice and quickly here for DMC. Then he will be able to start working his way back. And especially in this case where we've already got 3 command centers up for Beastie Cutie. It's very, very important. So SCV is going to be caught here. No scanning information available. Another SCV on the way around the map. He's just actually checking for any hidden bases right now. Wants to make sure nothing too crazy is going on or anything like that, as double Stargate and a fleet beacon come down. So we're going to see carriers or Tempest from DMC very, very shortly. I mean, it could be either or. I'd say Tempest are probably the more standard choice. But, you know, carriers can sometimes work out as well. So what's important for Beastie Cutie is that he figures out that this tech switch is coming down here. Another scan in this position would be absolutely great for him right now. So that he can add on another starport, really sort of boost up his Viking count. And maybe even a couple add on some more Ravens as well here, as we may be in for the long run in this game, because I mean the way we're set up right now, it really is looking as though we could be in for the long run. I mean, if these guys decide to just macro up to kind of max out, and oh my god guys, it is gonna be carriers. Are you ready? We're gonna see some carrier action here in this PVT. We are. Beastie Cutie starts up 2 more command centers, so I mean, this is going to be a long one. It really, really is. Yes, it is. It really, really is going to be a long one. Some Phoenixes come in here, need to be careful. The Oracle's the most important thing to keep alive right now, because that's going to be able to provide the revelation onto the army to give, well, I guess not so much without the Tempest, but if Tempest were in, generally you'd use that revelation to give a little bit of extra vision so that you can see a bit further and get that Tempest shots off from a safe distance. With carriers, the Oracle is not quite so important, but still going to be nice to see your opponent's army movements as much as possible. So yeah, Graviton Catapult on the way out of our fleet beacon right now. Getting them carrier upgrades. As a scan comes down, he's going to reveal he sees the carriers in production. Okay, so immediately here it's been revealed, and Beastie Cutie, what does he do? I get the feeling one of the better options may be just, yeah, starports. Many starports, because this is going to be a straight up air battle from now on, more or less. You know, what happens on the ground is not going to be as much of an issue as what happens in the sky. 3 carriers are out right now, and well, there's a fair amount of anti-air to deal with this for Beastie Cutie, as he is going to move across in response to seeing this this coming down. So he's going to move across here as soon as he can. Now the ground units are already being kind of zoned out, and we're going to see interceptors start coming in. We need to see these Vikings target down the carriers. The Vikings are going down very quickly though. The mines do go off and cleaning out a bunch of these interceptors, and the Vikings are starting to take down these carriers. With a couple more Vikings coming in, we're going to see the second carrier begin to fall, and DMC actually in a lot of trouble here. I'm saying we're in for the long run, but I mean right now there's only 1 carrier remaining, barely any interceptors. That PDD helped a bunch, and the mines helped out so much as well. Phoenix come in to leave this one carrier just alive, but third base falls, and DMC actually leaves there, ends up 50 supply down. Right now in this game, tanks are being picked up to try and be cleaned up, try and do whatever extra damage he can do. But this is not a good position right now for DMC, who's maybe just being caught. I mean, if that scan didn't come down from BCQT, he doesn't see the opportunity to move forward there. He doesn't take the opportunity, and DMC starts to run away a little bit with the game, because he gets into this army composition, which takes a long time to build up. But once it's built up, it's there. You've got it, and this is kind of the weakness of carriers. They take so long to build, it takes a long time to set up, and well, now we've got a Hellion run by in towards the natural, and I do believe that this is going to be a lot of workers killed here, because there's just no answer to this right now. A couple of Phoenix can lift up a couple of these Hellions, but we're still going to see more workers dying. 44 workers killed throughout the game already, and these Hellions are slowly just keep increasing that number up to 47, and maybe up to 48. Not quite. The carriers come in and save the day. So, DMC... well, some Stargates here, continuing to produce some carriers. DMC just gonna sit back now. I mean, he's got no opportunity. He's got no option other than just play defensive. But whenever BCQT next decides to make a move, we know what's gonna happen. I mean, he's got so many Vikings already. 5 Vikings being built at a time. He's also getting upgrades now as well. I mean, he's got a 4th base up. We've got, I believe, another command center somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So he's got loads of orbs. He's got plenty of economy. He's going to max out in the next minute. And once he's maxed out, there's just nothing. There's nothing at all which can be done. These Vikings are going to move forward, and this Raven from earlier in the game is around. I'd like to see BCQT add some more mines again. I feel the mines are very useful, especially against for cleaning up the interceptors. And moving forward, these Vikings, they're going to look for an opportunity. There's the scan, and again, there's just not much, and the carriers are all target fired already. There's one down in almost one single hit. DMC doesn't even take the fight. He just taps out of there as soon as he can, and Team Extreme Supremacy retake their advantage here in this clan war, and take it up to a 2-1 advantage right now against Vega Squadron. So keeping their dreams alive again. This match for both teams is so important in terms of potentially keeping playoff hopes alive. It's getting to that point of the season where we can talk about the playoffs, and the fact that another loss for Team Extreme Supremacy pretty much will knock them out of it, more or less. Another loss for Vega Squadron doesn't knock them out of it, but it puts them on the verge where they can't make any more mistakes. So this is a huge game for both these teams, and I mean, I keep going on. Let's start recording locally so we can set up the VODs later and go in game. So in the lower right hand corner from Vega Squadron, we have our green Protoss player. It's Freya. Vega again. This game is starting to. This series is starting to remind me a little bit about their loss against Team Alternate in Week 5, where they did have a bit of a tough time. They took a single map. It was actually Freya who took the single map, but then Lambo just came out and completely destroyed them 3 games in a row. And Vega Squadron just don't seem to be the team they used to be. They used to have Alfie. They used to have Johnny Rico. Is Livesticks actually still on their team? Because I'm not too sure if they are anymore. If he is anymore. I think he is, but he's not really played for them lately. He is officially still on their team. But I mean, they've just lost Dana as well, who used to be a huge player for them in the team leagues. And I mean a huge player. He was always winning his matches, and Dana was always such a solid opener for them, and that's someone else which they've lost recently. Vega really don't just seem to be troubled right now in the league. Again, they've got some what I'd call easier matches coming up, but again, I mean, if they lose against Team Extreme Supremacy, what's to stop them losing to Team Nuit Blanc? And then their playoff hopes are over, more or less. So, alright. So, in the upper left, so on the left-hand side of the map, we do have a pink Terran player, Team Extreme Supremacy's BCQT, who is once again opening with this Reaper. And yeah, I don't have really much else to say about Team Extreme Supremacy just yet. I mean, again, if we just look at how these teams have been performing up until now, Vega, they had an up and down start. They played Mind Sandy early, then they started to get back into it, and then a loss and a win in the last couple of weeks. But again, a loss here, and all of a sudden they're back down to not so great of a position. And I mean, Team Extreme Supremacy definitely in better form, as you can see. A horrible start to the season, but they pulled that back pretty quickly, and it's been upwards and onwards from that point. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how exactly this happens. So, We're going to come across the map, and we'll begin to do some scouting. Shout out to Super Hoffman, who is actually keeping the Liquipedia up to date for the current matches here tonight, so thank you very much for that. Saves me some work, I can tell you that. It's Sunday nights as well. I always do my admin work on Sunday nights, and updating the Liquipedias gets, like, when you've got 4 second division groups to do, 2 first division and 2 third division groups, it can become quite a drag to go through every single group and update the Liquipedias, so every little helps. It's really awesome whenever people do contribute. So yeah, here we are. Reaper is about to end up in the base of Freya, who's opened with double gas. We've been seeing this a lot out of the Vega Squadron. Oh, did he open double gas, or has he actually just taken that because we're already well into the game? No, he did open with double gas, you can tell by the amount mined. So he's opened with double gas, so again a very aggressive opening from our Vega Squadron Pros player. And I think maybe this Reaper can spot this Stargate. No, not quite. So Stargate on the way. The same as what we've seen from DMC in the last couple of games, basically. So let's see if BCQD can hold this off once again. Although this time I'm pretty sure it's going to be an Oracle and not just a Phoenix opening, which DMC went for on merry-go-round. So we'll see what happens. Hello, Foster. How is it going? Thanks for tuning in. As this Reaper moves around, sees what's up. Not too much for it to see. +1 actually starts from BCQD. I kind of like this build. Fast engineering bay. 2 racks, fast NGB, fast upgrade. Going to be able to start Stim very shortly here as well. As we do see that Stargate has now finished up, and we're waiting to see what's going to come out of it. It is just going to be the Oracle as expected. And yeah. So. Rip just poking in. He's going to try and get a scout on this Stargate right now. And he gets caught by the probes. That's pretty cute. Freya does actually mess up though. So, okay, there he goes. Fixes it nice and quickly. As more order and a little group of Marines begin to move out here and head southwards to see what they can get up to. Next, going to continue just building probes here, and yeah, we've got a robot facility on the way up in the back of the natural. And wow, first Oracle gets caught by the group of Marines which are moving out immediately, and oh, the turret probably could have shot that down there. Wow. I mean, Freya turned it around just in time anyway, so it's okay. But yeah, okay. Very, very scary moment there for that poor little Oracle. Looked as though he was about to bite the dust. Just about hung in there, though. Factory on the way now for Beastie Cutie. As, I mean, actually just comes straight into the natural here, and Mothership Core? Maybe? No? Anyway? There's a bunch of workers going down. We're talking about 7 workers or so already. I mean, now we see a sentry fall as well. Is there no Mothership Core? There is, I don't know where it is. The probes come back in here, and maybe 1 more probe killed, not quite. But 9 workers killed, and that's a good start from Beastie Cutie. There's some Mothership Core. Where have you been? Where have you been? You know, you're a little bit late to the party, Mr. Mothership, or Mrs. Mothership. You know, your poor workers here, they worked so hard to build you. And you know, what do you give them in return? Absolutely no protection. How is Protoss meant to be OP if their Mothership Core is slacking? Come on! Alright, Mothership Core. At the same time, the Oracle has not actually achieved anything yet. Not a single kill on it. Maybe we could make that change now. Oh! Drops the Envision, or Revelation, sorry. Drops the Revelation, and then gets caught as it does die off there. So, wow. Very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And Beastie Cutie, he's on fire this game. He's killed a bunch of workers. I mean, he lost his little bit of army to do it, but worthwhile, I would say. I mean, he didn't force a throw overcharge, but I mean, he moves across the map. Now he's got a starport on the way. Well, he's got the starport up. The reactor's on the way to get the double medevacs out at a time. He's adding on 2 more barracks. I think he's not going to bother with a 3rd command site at this game. He's already identified he's on a bit of an advantage here. And I reckon he's probably just saying to himself, you know, why stop now? Why stop now? I can keep on going. 1 force field baited out. No thought overcharge just yet, though. But once the medevacs come out, he can start being all over the place with this little group of units again here, so Beastie Cutie seeing what he can get up to right now. Still just moving around the map and taking nice map control, splitting up. Gonna spot for 3rd base coming out. And just as Freya does begin to move a probe, okay, he's gonna miss the probe. A little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. As Freya adds on a couple more gateways as well. Already on 4 gates, going up to 6. First Colossus and extended thermal lance on the way out right now. No Forge. And we're seeing this no Forge play quite a lot here today. Excuse me. As Stalker does get picked off by this group of units which are just chilling out front. Combat just about to finish up. First 2 medevacs are out on the map and are going to be reinforcing with a couple of Marines here. Oh. Can Beastie Cutie be any more perfect right now? Can he really? Scan comes down, picks off that observer without an issue at all. Does have to boost away. Oh, he's going to go for the Colossus! And the Colossus is going to go down, and that's huge. He picks up a fair few units here. The Colossus going down is absolutely huge, though. I mean, picking that off is really detrimental to the rest of the game for Freya, because now he's lost a lot of his initial splash damage. He's actually moved across the map in such a way it looks as though he wants to kill his opponent, because he's putting down proxy... a little bit of a mistake there. He's putting down proxy pylons, he's moving forwards. This pylon might actually die because the pro's been picked off. He's actually going to get away with them 2 Marines. Bunker's on the way, and I mean, without the first Colossus, I don't actually know how this works out here. Freya's going to move up here. This is going to be a cancel on the 3rd command center. Beastie Cutie though, I mean, what a position he's in. He's just going to stem forward, he's going to fight, and the Colossus is not here just yet. There's the reinforcement going down. Pylons down, and from here, what happens? 2, 3 force fields. The force fields are pretty good, but now the Zealots are going to die, and mostly Marauders here can't quite break through just yet because of the force fields, but it's going to be very hard for Freya to really make this push work, which he's been trying to do. And I mean, what does he do now? Reinforcements coming across the map, another probe coming, because it's going to be a long time before you get, I mean, reinforcements from here just aren't close enough. And he doesn't even get the cancel on his 3rd command center. So 3rd command center is going to actually finish up here for Beastie Cutie as well. He's got the bunkers at the natural. Once this 3rd command center finishes, he can lift it and move it in case if he needs to. Right now, that's not a necessity. Another Marine picks off a probe trying to make a 3rd base. There's nothing going right now for Freya. Nothing at all is going right for Freya. Beastie Cutie is just all over the place. You know, he's killing off probes everywhere. You know, things are just looking better and better and better for Beastie Cutie here. We see some more Marauders, Marines coming out right now. A couple of Vikings are moving out as well. And Beastie Cutie is looking for a way to try and, well, I mean, Freya, I don't think he realizes Freya's in the middle of the map, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I would say, because I think at this point, as long as Beastie Cutie engages in an open area, it's going to be okay for him. We're talking about, he's about to be 2-1 against 0-0. I mean, again, he can lift this 3rd and evacuate if necessary. He's sending a single mine ahead. But there's no actual 3rd base here, which is something Beastie Cutie's yet to actually spot. 4 Zealots coming towards this 3rd base. Some reinforcements are actually getting rallied out here. The units come forward and he scans, he looks for the army, he sees it isn't here. He sees a couple of them stalkers, so now he does see the position of this army. I think Beastie Cutie needs to go back home, get his reinforcements, and then think about fighting. I mean, there's no rush for him to fight at all. He's got a 3rd base up. He's the one who just wants to be buying time. Again, no rush to really commit into anything. Vikings are going home, and 3 medevacs are also full of units here. So, these units are going to be looking for a way to basically just drop into the natural, try and pull Freya back, or do game-ending damage to make his attack 100% all in. 1 dropship of units is going to stem forward here and pick off this pylon to deny the vision of the extra medevacs coming forward. A little bit worried though, because Beastie Cutie has to deal with this attack on his front doorstep right now. I don't see a way for him to do that. He doesn't have that many units here at all, and he's still a little bit unsure as to where exactly this where exactly this army is. Some Vikings getting picked off here. Now he knows where this army is. I think it's time to pick up this 3rd base and evacuate. He scans, he sees this army coming in, he's going to just pick it up, he's just going to repair it, I suppose, and try and keep it alive. He's going to lose this. Of course, he's got a big job coming in towards the natural expansion here, and this Colossus will go down. Some Zealots being walked in, probes being brought out to help, some more units dropping out here. Beastie Cutie doesn't have these bunkers that he had earlier in the game on his natural. This is going to turn into a little bit of a base trade. As Beastie Cutie, though, he's actually already lost a fair few of his initial units here. Thorn Overcharge is going to come down both Nexuses, which is going to stop Beastie Cutie from really doing too much more with these units. But it will turn Freya around. Freya's going to turn around here. He's not going to push forward, and I feel as though pushing forward might have just been the right decision. Try and come up this ramp, because what are you going to do when you come back home? I mean, Beastie Cutie's going to pick up and leave, and you're going to end up, like, just in a crappy position, really, and he might even lose the natural expansion here without units to defend it. Oh dear, he's going to lose the natural expansion, picks up, and just Beastie Cutie moves away for now. And these drops stay active on the map, so they can come in, hit the main base in a moment. This Marine is slowly working away on this 3rd base, and the single Zealot is going to be able to clean up the Marine as well. Probes transferring over to this newly built 3rd base. I mean, Beastie Cutie lost his own 3rd. And I assume that basically Freya just said, well, that's it, I did enough damage to go back home and just macro up, but I don't really think he did. He's still on no upgrades. We're talking about 2-1 Terran plays. Vikings have upgrades as well now, and a few SCVs coming across the map with this army to just fight, and I mean, he needs to be careful, can't throw away too many Vikings. Dropping into the main base now, more workers going down, and as more workers go down, this attack's going to be more and more game-ending here, as the Vikings just immediately come forwards here. There's no Zealots to tank. The Colossi melt. It's the only way I can describe this. Melt, evaporate, disappear completely. Beastie Cutie, that game was just his from the moment it started. Like, everything went right from him from the beginning, where he accidentally ran. I don't really have anything else to say. I've got no introduction specifically prepared. Vega Squadron send out Straight Edge. He's the Green Protoss player here in the upper right hand corner of Nimbus, and I just can't help but feel at this point they're just feeding Beastie Cutie confidence. Like, I understand it's tough. There's a lot of clan leagues going on right now, like the Cascade Clan League. There's the Cascade Clan League. There's RSTL. It's tough for all these teams to keep on playing all these matches, but yeah, I mean, it just feels at this point as though they're feeding Beastie Cutie more confidence by throwing out another Protoss player. And at this point, what do you do? Like, if it's all you can do, then fair enough. But it's hard to see hope for Vega Squadron here, and I mean, their form as of late really is starting to slip. Only just clinching a win against Carnage Esports, losing against Alternate, beating Mouse Control, who are definitely one of the weaker teams of the league, and now about to lose to Team Extreme Supremacy. Vega Squadron's form is really sleeping. So slipping. So I'm a little bit worried for them. I really truly am a little bit worried for them. I really hope they find their footing here and bring us some great performances in the coming weeks, because right now things are starting to look a little bit downhill for them. In our bottom right hand corner, we know who this guy is by now. It's the pink Terran player from Team Extreme Supremacy. It's Beastie Cutie. And playing here for his team with a command center first. And we'll see where this game is going to take us. Excuse very quickly a quick pause. Not a quick pause, but a quick tab while I go and pause my stream. Stream shouldn't be broken. Stream should be absolutely fine, Randall, so I don't know what's up, although if you there shouldn't be just a black screen. Hang on, let me just check myself. There's not a black screen. I don't know, Randall, I don't know. Okay, anyways, let's talk about our game a little bit here. So, Mothership go on the way out for Straight Edge, just a single gas expansion here, not too much of a surprise. I mean, finally we see a Protoss player who's just going to expand nice and quickly. I mean, Nimbus, one of the better maps for doing this on. But, one of the better maps for doing this on, obviously because of that in-base expansion, but I just like to see straight away from the start, one of these Protoss players maybe just trying to play a little bit more straight up, and, you know, play a little bit more straight up, and, you know, just from the get-go, try and go into the macro game. Don't bother with any of this Stargate play, because it's not really achieving anything so far. In any of these games, it's not really achieved all too much against Beastie Cutie. So, I feel as though what's really been missing has been kind of a lack of communication point link between the Vega Squadron players. Because, especially if they're all Protoss, I mean, you should say like, you should just be saying, right, like, hey, I just played this guy, I tried this out, it didn't work at all, this is what he did against me. You know, be aware, you know, maybe if you were thinking of doing this, think again, because, you know, we don't want to lose because we tried the same thing twice. It just doesn't really feel like that's happening, because we've seen so many Stargate openings, and yes, it's a very standard opening, but we've also seen pretty much every game has been some form of 2-base Colossus timing, essentially, so it's kind of hard to watch. Oh, I guess I say that. I guess one of the matches was Coolty, who went for 2-base Colossus. Yeah, but you know, I just feel as though the Protoss players from Vega are just giving us very repetitive games here. This is our 5th TVP in a row, and I mean, again, very rare we see so many repetitions of the same matchup here in a, you know, in a single clan war. So, we do have some text starting to be made here. We have had a forge already put down by Straight Edge. So straight away, we're seeing a fast forge road facility now on the way as well. So he's just going to go into upgrades and Colossi, plus one attack coming in here. So really going to focus on probably Blink Stalkers and Colossi, because with them attack, you know, generally ground armor upgrade first would mean you're going to focus on Zealots for tankiness. attack upgrades means you're really focusing on the firepower, so they're getting the Colossi to do some damage and keeping them Colossi alive by shooting down the Vikings nice and quickly with a bunch of Stalkers. So it's kind of looking like what we're seeing from Straight Edge right now. Back home for BCQD, he has actually opened with a 1-1-1 build, but not too aggressive just yet. Getting out his 3rd and 4th mine, and he's going to be able to start dropping these with his first medevac, which is about to pop out here right now. So, mines are going to start unburrowing, jumping into the medevac. There's mine number 3 in there, and he's actually just going to wait for mine number 4 as well. Twilight Council all the way down, so it really does look as though we're going to see this blink opening out of Straight Edge. No Colossus Sten just yet, Sickles Sten, of course, Robo Bay just yet. So we're not seeing that just yet, but I imagine that's going to be one of the next things he adds on here after maybe +2 and blink or so. Medevac gets across the map here very, very quickly. Observer already well positioned, and 4 Stalkers is going to make this hard to really do anything. These mines are all going to burrow though. And Straight Edge, what are you doing? Straight Edge, move your probes! Oh no, what has happened here? What on earth has happened here? That shouldn't have happened. I mean, he sees the attack coming in. He's got Stalkers there. Like, just pull the probes away. Pull the probes away, you're safe. Oh, this already starts to feel like a bit of a disaster. BCQD going to opt to play mech once again here in this game. So we had kind of a mech game, then a bio game, and now another mech game from him here. So intrigued to see how this works out. It's always fun to see a little bit of something different in TVP. Mech is always something which is a little bit different, as BCQD's single medevac here is a little bit stuck. +2 blink on the way for Straight Edge. Still no signs of any kind of tech, and there it is. It's going to be the Templar Archives coming down. So he's going to go into a Templar opening. I mean, he's got a Robo facility up, and in the end, he's going to be kind of okay because against mech, what he's generally going to want to try and do is, basically get, you know, Archons are very good for tanking, Immortals are very good for firepowering down the tanks. Even Storms can be quite nice as a way to clean up very quickly the waves of Hellbats, for example. So instead of Colossi, he's going to need the Storms to clean up kind of the frontal units, to get that splash damage in there, to clean up the very weak units at the front, basically. So that should be his plan as BCQD moves out. He's got a 3rd base ready to move over here, and he is just starting to secure this position as a probe has been found by a single Marine, and looks as though this Marine will continue chasing for a little while longer, but now he will just turn away. So, probe loops around. He's about to find out that there's a tank here in the game. He has actually started Immortal. He started Immortal production, so it looks as though he kind of knows what's up anyway. It doesn't look as though he's going to be all too surprised by this mech play by BCQD. I mean, again, he should know from his teammates that this is a possibility, that this is something he's got to kind of watch out for. And, you know, after seeing the 1-1-1 opening, it's very possible he's just said to himself, right, this is going to be the mech play. And he's just started preparing for that. Now, +2 blink are going to finish up here. He's going to go into charge as well, make sure them Zealots can connect nice and quickly with whatever army composition he goes up against, probably to close the distance between the tanks. Even if he just closes the distance between the Hellbats more quickly, it means that the tanks are going to start friendly firing a little bit faster. And that is, of course, going to be very useful as Templars do begin to warp in. Looks as though they're just going to be for Archons for now, or feedbacks. Yeah, I mean, these two were warped in such a way it looked as though they're just going to feedback again. They do just morph into Archons for now. No Storm on the way at all here. +3 on the way, though, from our Pros play in terms of upgrades. So really starting to get ahead there. Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way for BCQD. As 3 Hellions come in towards this 3rd base, find a single probe to pick off. See the 3rd base isn't finished, and we'll just back off there to be used another day for now. 5 Stalkers going to try and hunt them down. They do have blinks, so the hunt is a possibility right now. And these poor Hellions do actually just run straight into these. So playing forward, Straight Edge picks these off nice and easily. As all 3 Hellions get cleaned up there without too much of an issue. So basically not paying too much attention to that. Another probe picked off over here, and we're going to see a pylon just cancelled. So BCQD is cleaning up his the proxy pylons out on the map. There's an observer here. A Banshee being added onto the army right now. 2 starports being added on. Wow, interesting. Interesting to see where this is going to go. As more Templars being warped in, so more Archons are going to be joining the fray along with the Immortals. More Zealots being warped in as well. Charge about to finish, and +3, 75% or so of the way done. So them upgrades are really going to be kicking in very soon, pretty much for the next fight here. I mean, already kicking in 2-0 against, well, 1-0. They'll now soon be 3-0 against 1-0. And, you know, again, mech doesn't rely on upgrades all so much, but it will create a bit of an advantage for for Straight Edge here in any kind of fight, as some Hellions do find a pylon on the way up. And well, they're basically relying right now on Straight Edge not to notice these Hellions moving forward. Unfortunately, he does, and these Hellions get picked off very easily. So 5 Hellions for nothing there. B-Security isn't really making his harassment work right now. Sitting very defensively right on these 3 bases, adding on more command centers. Continue to just send out a few Hellions at a time to try and find a way to do some damage here, there, or anywhere. And yeah, these couple of Hellions are gonna move around, see what they can get done, see what they can spot. Some Stalkers in the middle of the map though, blink forward onto that tower, kill off another Hellion already. And another probe making a pylon, looking as though he wants to look to take a 4th base already here in this game. Again, as the Protoss player playing against mech, you want to be expanding as much as you can, keep your economy up nice and high. It's very hard for the Terran player to shut down expansions of a Protoss player when playing mech because of their mobile army. So expecting Straight Edge to just keep on expanding here nice and quickly, keep his economy nice and strong, so he can remax nice and quickly as well, and through waves and waves of gateway units at this army, which is beginning to move out. So moving out, and it looks as though he's going to take a forward 4th base, which is very interesting. So taking a 4th base in such a way that he's going to basically land this here, set up a siege, and say, you know, if you want to come into my 4th, but you know, if you don't do anything about this, I'm actually going to be the player who's going to slowly just keep on pushing towards your bases. And this is kind of nice because it shuts off this right-hand angle in towards the 3rd base. You know, it does leave, it kind of leaves this main direction route, main attack path open through the middle, but this tank's already kind of covering most of this anyway. And of course reinforcements should be able to cover quite a bit of it as well. I mean, down here is kind of the same deal, so I kind of like this position here as some Stalkers do get caught. And this army does begin to move out here for Straight Edge. I don't think he's completely aware. Okay, he does know that this is here. Maybe should call moving out to actually stop the SCVs building turrets, but it looks like we might have an engagement in a moment. Tanks are sieged up though, which is going to make this hard to engage into. But right now, this planetary fortress is open for an attack here. If Straight Edge wants to move around that top side, a lot of Banshees are added into this mix right now, and some feedbacks would not go amiss. I'm surprised he doesn't just cloak them Banshees right now, just to get the energy lower on them, so feedback can't insta-kill some of them, or take, you know, really take down the health. Here we go, we're going to see an engagement. The tanks were a little bit late to siege up, and the Zealots closing the distance very quickly here onto these Hellbats. Some PTDs coming down, but B-Security, his army isn't going to be strong enough here. He's losing a lot. All of his tanks are going to go down. These Banshees slowly working their way against, I mean, it might be the Banshees which kind of save the day against everything else. The Immortals are going to shred through this planetary fortress. But I guess at the same time, a lot of these Immortals are going to go down to the Banshees. No Observer here just yet, as another Immortal will fall. These Banshees giving chase, and they're going to keep on going for as many kills as they can right now. The Stalkers, of course, going to try and hunt them down, but B-Security is a little bit too smart. Just go running straight into Straight Edge here. He loses that 4th base. I'm surprised he doesn't try and take this base at the same time for another... especially after losing a fight like that. He's just had his tank count reset. It becomes very, very difficult for him to really kind of, you know, fight here. Hellbats are coming forward. There's no Observer once again, it would seem, and more Immortals are going to go down. These Banshees are doing so much damage here. Another Immortal falls, and maybe even one more here, and that's going to be devastating down to a single Immortal. Templar ready to warp into Archons here, but I mean, Straight Edge is taking just as much damage as B-Security. B-Security trading a little less efficiently, which is weird for the mech player, of course. But he's got this 4th base coming up. A single Banshee over here will actually be picked off if he's not careful and he's not paying enough. Okay, so he is paying attention. These 2 Banshees are going to get picked off though because of the Observer. Blink forward, Observer not in range, so single Banshee escapes on 1 hit point. And BCQ is just starting to rebuild his position at this 4th base now, so he's not giving up this idea that he just wants to sit here, be strong and be unbreakable. Bunch of Hellions moving forward and looking to see if they can... looking to see what they can do. Moving forward, and oh, there's so many probes right for the picking on this base. There's a single cannon, but of course the cannon is not going to stop 6 Hellions. And all of these Hellions finding a Hellion run by getting something done. I mean, we've seen so many Hellion run bys be shut down without doing anything this game. B-Security finally getting some damage done. Still 60 probes up and running for Straight Edge though, so not too much of an issue. Supply's fairly even. B-Security with a little bit of a larger bank right now. And of course with extra orbitals, he really will be raking in that money. As I think he even needs to start thinking about a 5th base over here. Simply because he is starting to run out of minerals to mine from on this natural, on this main. Protoss army building up here once again. The Terran upgrades only get better and better though. You know, right at the start of this game we saw Protoss playing with the upgrade advantage. But as time has gone on, it's been our Terran player who's been catching up. So as time goes on, the fights do get better for our Terran player. As that Banshee with 1 hit point does finally get cleaned up here. Hellions going to look for a run by, and if they can get into this 4th base again, some probes are available there to be killed off, but the army is well positioned to protect them right now. Trying to think what basically you do. You know what, a drop into here could maybe shut down a few probes. I guess there's a fair few cannons on this natural expansion though, so not so important. Coming forward now with these Hellions, and just as the army moves out as well, it's quite a nice timing, so he's coming straight in here, get a fair few worker kills. And Straight Edge actually forced to fall back, so I mean, he isn't really forced to fall back. There's nothing which says you must fall back right now. He doesn't really need to fall back to save his base. BCQ spots another base up here. As this army's going to reposition for him. He sees the army coming in to the middle of the map for Straight Edge. As I mean, these tanks are all very well spread out right now. And Straight Edge needs to be very careful. I kind of feel he could just run past and go straight towards the third, but he's actually just going to try and fight this right now. Banshees do just, I mean, Scan comes down, the Observers get targeted, and the Cloak Banshees, again, there's just absolutely no answer for them here, but a lot of Archons remaining still, and these Archons are slowly picking their way through this tank line once again, and basically, his tank line goes down, he's going to lose this 4th base again. Well, there's still tanks in the backs, I guess, again, and against the Banshees, which there's no answer for, and again the Immortals are going to fall, again the Archons fall, leaving only kind of Zealots and Stalkers. This time some tanks do remain, so it's a bit of a better scenario for BCQD than previously. Reinforcements are going to start moving out and joining up with this. PDD could be very useful in this in these fights. A lot of Stalkers, of course, and PDD will shut down a few of them for a while. I mean, feedback comes in there. Cloak comes down, he's going to just pick off this Archon. And he's just starting to harass this natural expansion now. Pylon's going to go down. And Straight Edge is starting to struggle a little bit. He's down 30 supply, and this is the first time in the game we've really seen kind of a supply disparity between these two players. Blinks forward, he only gets a single one of them. He only gets a single one of those Banshees as the Hellbats morph into Hellions morph into Hellbat mode, and they're going to get cleaned up by a couple of Dark Templar here, something which we've not really seen utilised just yet in this game. So a couple of Dark Templar being used, and some, well, plenty of Stalkers here, and a nice morph into Archon to keep them alive against the Hellbats. So again, cleaning up the Hellbats without any losses at all, really. As we now see some Ravens starting to be added on as well. Going to be seeing +3/+3 mech here very shortly. And this little group of Hellions just sitting on this high ground right now. Moving forward with this group of Stalkers. Scan comes down to reveal where these units are. And needs to be careful. The cannon is throwing a couple of shots onto these Hellions right now. Zealots coming in from the other side though and get the surround on those, and goodbye Hellions. Evaporated very, very quickly there. Is BCQD going to land a command center now over to this bottom left hand side of the map? And you know, I mean, something which we haven't seen Straight Edge doing is checking these bases. He has no idea if there's extra bases up over here or up here or anywhere, so this base is probably going to go fairly unpunished. And that's going to mean another mining base established here essentially for BCQD, as two Banshees are going to try and come in towards this base. Cannons on the way, not ready just yet though, and this side of the base is very exposed as Hellions are going to run towards this base as well. Blocked by a couple of Zealots though, so not going to get too much damage done, as these Banshees are going to clean up everything on this 5th base of Straight Edge right now. And all these probes are going to go down, apart from a couple which do get pulled away in time. But nothing here to actually protect the Nexus, so Nexus is going to start taking some major damage. Blink Stalker's moving around here for Straight Edge. We'll see there's no command center down here. And he's, one of these Banshees has fallen to a, I'm not sure what exactly it fell to, but it's fallen. Some mines being introduced to the mix as well right now, which could be quite nice in a future fight. Storm on the way as well from Straight Edge, so continuing to tech forward here, getting new options available to him. As he really is struggling to break BCQT once and for all in this game. Starting to actually produce some SCVs down in this bottom left. He has a bunch of SCVs that are oversaturated here. There's some mines actually moving to a bit of an interesting position. How many kills do they get? 1 on 1, not too many then. And we're at the point now where both players are maxed out again. 5 bases for each player. All BC needs to do is, yeah, move these SCVs over. He's chosen a good time to do that because, well, he actually scanned to make sure it's safe first so that these SCVs aren't going to be spotted. So these SCVs are going to transfer across quite nicely. Ah! Oof, just escaped them mine shots there. BCQ now moving forward very aggressively into position here, and this is something I would have liked to see him do quite a while ago. There's a couple of Immortals actually already in a little bit of trouble. One gets picked off and the other being chased by Hellbats. I feel like this is something which BCQD could have done a long time ago, but at the same time, he was never really given an opportunity. Here we go, a fight's going to come in here, and Storm's on top of the Banshees, and the Banshees are going down very, very quickly this time. As some Seeker missiles, or just Seeker missiles are coming down, all the Banshees cleaned out, so this time, there's no saving grace for BCQD. As these Stalkers blink forward, Seeker missile goes off. No, it doesn't. And scan of the army, still not quite enough for Straight Edge to push forward with, though. And again, BCQD just holds on. How does he keep on doing this? Like, that time it looked as though it was going to be the fight to end the fights, but it wasn't enough. Now it looks as though these Zealots are going to find this base at the bottom left with some repairs. Planetary Fortress can hold on for a little while. Single SCV repairing up these Vikings, Ravens, and Banshees. Zealots do commit onto this Planetary Fortress. He needs to get these SCVs repairing as soon as possible. He does. And scans as well, just in case, just to see what exactly it is here. So Planetary Fortress cleaning this up. Excuse me. Not too much of an issue though. These SCVs will be more than enough to keep it alive for now. More Banshees, more Hellbats, more tanks on the way in the production tower for BCQD. Straight Edge with a big bank though. Another Banshee chased away from the top side of the map. These Zealots do get all cleaned up, and this Planetary Fortress does survive to live another day. So, not so bad. But the base is now found out about, so we will probably be seeing more and more attacks go in that direction for our Protoss player as time goes on. As a big chunk of Hellions here, maybe going to get an immortal kill. They pick off the shields of it, but that's about it. Stalkers blink forward, looking for a pick off there, and BCQD moves forward again. I mean, he doesn't really move forward; just keeps reinforcing this forward line on this base, which he's had for so long in this game. Another base over to the left-hand side of the map. He's actually transferred a bunch of his SCVs from here over to there, so in case this base does get taken down, maybe try and keep these SCVs alive a little longer. Stalkers move forward a little bit too far and get caught by the tanks. And as we come over the 30-minute mark of this game, it's still, well, I'd say it's starting to lean in Straight Edge's favour. He's spent his money, he's almost maxed out again. Whereas BCQD is actually struggling to keep his money up there, to, to max out a bunch. DT's coming down to this bottom side, and surely this is going to be enough to clean out this Planetary Fortress. DTs are something which hasn't really been thought about too much by BCQD. You just have a turret in position. So let's see what these Dark Templar can do. I don't think there's enough SCVs here to really repair this in time. Let's see. As we're going to see the SCVs pulled, we're going to try and repair these scans. It's not in time though. These SCVs do just have to retreat. So big warping of DTs. Hellions are going to just be sent to deal with them though. He kind of sees where they're going still, so it's pretty nice. He's going to actually pick off a couple here with another scan. He does catch them just about. And he catches this one as well. These couple are still picking off SCVs here and there. So he's got another couple of them to pick off. Stalker's still trying to move forward, but keep on getting blade-weighted by these tanks. And one more scan from one more Dark Templar. Or two more Dark Templar, maybe. These SCVs give away the position of the next Planetary Fortress. Scan comes down and both of them Dark Templars get cleaned up. However, Stalker's on the way down here, probably looking to pick off these Hellions. I guess they just morph into Hellbats on the high ground now though and sit by the Planetary Fortress, and they should be okay. Stalker shouldn't be able to break this too easily, as BCQD is still with his main army just positioned over here. Hellbats going to come forward, and with Blink though makes the Hellbats very difficult to really do anything. They can't really get up close and personal with these Stalkers for all too long before they blink away, so they'll take out a few Stalkers here, but not too many. And this Planetary Fortress, well, this command center is probably going to end up being cancelled, but this Planetary Fortress should probably still just about survive. We actually see some tanks and Banshees coming down here. They're going to cloak up, and, well, Blink will save the Stalkers for now. And I mean, this move from BCQD keeps his Planetary Fortress alive for a little while longer. As at the same time, actually, we have a huge push coming through the middle from the Straight Edge. And all of a sudden, BCQD is forced to back off here. And there's just so many Immortals, so many Archons. I don't actually think Straight Edge is really going to be able to... I don't think BCQD is really going to be able to stop this from moving forward at this point. I really don't think he can. So, I mean, tower is taken in the middle of the map. Units are going to start coming down to the bottom side. I mean, he knows about this Planetary Fortress here, so I imagine that's going to be one of his main targets. He'll pretty much deny all of the current mining for BCQD if he takes that down. Basically walking straight into this army though. He needs to be careful. Tanks do siege, and yeah, Banshees need a cloak. And here we go, we're going to see the fighters. The Templars come forward, they're going to throw some storms down. A lot of Seeker missiles coming down. Oh, the Seeker missiles are going to be huge! But not enough. And the Banshees stormed away to death. And Straight Edge looks as though he's finally just about done it. Very close still though. Up until the last couple of moments, there's still a couple of Seeker missiles going off. Actually blows up the majority of this army. And now some mines are actually going to maybe actually clean up the rest of this. Are you kidding me? Straight Edge has so much money though, it doesn't really matter. BCQD has just a single mining base down to the bottom left side at the moment, but that's absolutely it for now. And, well, we're basically just waiting for BCQD to tap out now. I mean, at this point, I mean, we're not waiting for BCQD to tap out. We're waiting for Straight Edge to force the end of the game, because it is up to him to end this at the moment. There's, oh, mines! Mines everywhere! I'm actually just picking up another couple of Archons. Kind of funny. If them stories were a little bit slower moving, you actually would have lost the majority of the army there. But I mean, again, he's got so much money. 78 probes, only 23 SCVs left now for BCQD. And Straight Edge does take the victory as BCQD just decides to tap out. So, Vega Squadron won't give up easily. You know, I was going to game number 6 and see what happens. So yeah, we're going into this game. Sorry, I've got a little bit of an admin issue in another clan war that I'm trying to sort out at the same time. So try and just fix it while casting. Hopefully it's not too bad. In the upper left hand corner we do have from Team Extreme Supremacy, the Blue Protoss player. Finally something other than TVP, a little bit of PvP. It's going to be Levy here in the upper left hand corner. And in the lower right hand corner we do have our Green Protoss player from Vega Squadron taking game number 5 to bring Vega Squadron one step back into this. It is Straight Edge. So, waiting to see what's going to happen here. I'm sorry for the lucky sound, guys. Just trying to fix something. And, so yeah, sorry, need to get my head into this game because we have got a Stargate down. Where is it? Am I just imagining things? We don't have a Stargate down. I thought I saw a Stargate. It's a Twilight Council. Sorry, it's a Cybernetics Core finishing. So we have 2 Twilight Council on the way for either side right now. So both players going into a Twilight Council. And yeah. Both players going into Twilight Council, going to be opening with one gate blink here. With a ship course popping out for both players, and going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And yeah, so sorry about that, guys. A little bit of an issue there. I'm just trying to sort out as well, which is why I'm being a little bit quiet. So we actually don't have one gate blink against one gate blink at all. We actually have Levy going for a Dark Shrine. It's looking as though he wants to go for a Dark Templar expand. I'm going to be throwing down his Nexus here. Take that off of the screen as well. Again, sorry. So Nexus comes down here on the low ground, and a probe coming back in towards the in towards this mineral line. I need to also pause my stream. Oh my god, what a disaster of a game this has been so far. Proxy Paladin already coming down, so getting ready to get these Dark Templars forward as fast as possible, as we're going to see an expansion from Straight Edge as well. 4 Stalkers currently sitting in his mineral line, and yeah, we've got an extra gateway being added on, and Robo Facility finishing up, and an Observer's going to come out straight away. So these Dark Templar from Levy aren't actually going to be able to do all too much at all here. And that's a little bit of a shame. So 2 Dark Templar, maybe you can cancel the Nexus if the Observer and units don't get over there in time, actually. And that's probably his best bet right now, actually, to just try and cancel the Nexus. He's going to run by into the main, but then he's going to be found, and the Stalkers are now moving forward with the Observer, and yeah, the Observer spots the first DT. And this is going to go down very quickly. He doesn't get, well, does it get a single kill? No. Oh, a single kill there. Second DT just going to sit in the back of the Natural for now, hoping it doesn't get found out. I mean, expansion on the way. Not the end of the world for Levy. He's going into Immortal production here straight away. He's got Blink on the way as well. So it's been an investment, but not a huge investment for him here. The only difference right now is that Straight Edge goes straight into a Forge, whereas Levy going to have to wait a little while to be able to go into his own. So a few Stalkers moving out for Straight Edge. Going to be looking for this Proxy Pylon to see where then Dark Templar came in from. There's DT just sitting back here in the back of the mineral line, waiting to see what's happening. You just find that pylon, cleans up quite easily. Blinks away, and we'll now start to head across the map a little bit, where we he actually does have a Templar Archives coming up here. So Straight Edge. A little bit intriguing, going for the Templar Archives. Third gateway being added on as well. Dark Templar for Levy has actually escaped that Natural and gone away for now. As Levy just sitting here at the front of his Natural, and he should be pretty well defended right now. He's just added on a couple extra gateways actually. Plus 1 on the way for Straight Edge as well, definitely something worth noting. As Blink forward here for Levy, will try and pick up these Stalkers, but they just want to blink off of this cliff, and they will get away for now. So, Levy is just going to sit back here with his little army. We have a Robo on the way up for Straight Edge, and yeah, I mean, it's one of them games right now where we're just going to sit back and wait for these guys to start building up, basically, to see how the rest of this game is going to go. A second Robo facility already on the way for Straight Edge, so he's really going to commit into this Colossus play. With his Templar Archives already down, it's quite... I mean, he could just play Immortal Arc. I mean, he's got a Templar Archives down already. I'm being retarded because he's got a Robo base, so of course he's going to play Colossus. Templar Archives just surprises me a little bit. Seems a little bit weird here as Levy, with more gateways up, is going to be able to blink forward here and maybe be a little bit aggressive. I mean, no upgrades for Levy. So as time goes on, Straight Edge gets a little bit more of an advantage here in the game. And... and yeah, Levy just kind of sitting around and waiting to see what happens. So, Rock's been taken down here as Levy takes an extra base. Also starts up 3 hidden Stargates here, so he's going to be changing up his pace of play quite significantly. And this hallucinated Phoenix is going to come across the map and in towards the main base here to see what is up. So, hallucinated Phoenix is going to spot that the Forge is spinning away there. He spots the double Robo facility as well. So you can have a pretty good idea, and as you see the Colossi, he pretty much confirms everything you need to know about his opponent's composition in this game. These Stargates are going to be interesting. What does he build? Does he go kind of Mass Void Ray or so? Does he go into Tempest very quick, like a lot of Tempest? He's just going to go Void Rays, which kind of makes the most sense. And he's just going to kind of hope his opponent doesn't have any anti-air. He's moving forward now with the majority of his army. A Warlock coming up here for Straight Edge, preparing in case this is going to be... I mean, we have got Charge on the way, so just preparing in case it is a heavy Charge lot-based army. You can choke this area off a little bit. But these 3 Void Rays could be complete game changers. So, these 3 Void Rays are going to finish up, but it looks as though Levy's not actually too interested in attacking right now. This army again not being scouted out, the composition not scouted out quite yet by Straight Edge, so he doesn't know about them Void Rays just yet still. And once we get up to 6 Void Rays, I mean, it's another opportunity here for maybe Levy to try and make something happen. As again, it's a little bit of an unorthodox composition. Again, he's playing without upgrades as well, which is a big factor. Which is going to be a big factor once any sort of fights start happening. And yeah, Levy's starting to set up some pounds up on the right hand side of the map, so looking as though he's getting into a position where he's going to be able to try and start to be aggressive. Void Rays 4, 5 and 6 now come up, 7, 8 and 9 in production still. There's a couple of gases finish up on this third base of Levy. Again, no upgrades is what's really going to make this fight, which is really going to make the game I mean, I keep saying no upgrades is going to make this entertaining. I mean, it's the fact that there's about 9 Void Rays against 3 Stalkers right now, which is really going to be substantial in any kind of engagement here. So, extra pounds on the way, and I mean, Hallucinated Phoenix coming across the map. When does Levy decide to really reveal this and just to go for it? Because at the same time, it's going to get to the point where he might just have so many Void Rays he can move across, and Straight Edge actually can't get enough anti-air in to the game in time to react to them, because it's just come as such a surprise to him. So, sitting here waiting to see what's going to happen. 3 Stalkers moving forward, seeing if they can spot anything. I mean, the Void Rays are pretty much hidden to this left-hand side though, so that's looking pretty unlikely. I mean, the Stalker blinks in towards the natural, or to this base here, see if it can see anything, but I mean, it can't. And there's nothing to be seen here, really, because again, the Stargates are down here, the Void Rays are here. Straight Edge is being completely played right now. And Levy, I mean, again, he's behind on upgrades, but this composition, the craziness of it, excuse me, might just work. So, here we go. The Void Rays are coming across the map, and Straight Edge has absolutely no clue. And again, his army composition is absolutely no anti-air. He's got nothing. He has got nothing at all. The Zealot on the tower is going to get cleaned up before we can spot the Void Rays. He has got no anti-air. He's got two Templars warping in, so he's going to have a single Archon to add into this. The Void Rays don't care. I'm pretty damn sure the Void Rays do not give a single shit. Quite frankly. And now he sees all these Void Rays and he's like, what on earth am I meant to do? Anti-air? What's that? I don't have any. And the Void Rays come forward here and they should just go straight onto the claw side, because there's nothing here to stop them. And this is a massacre. Levy has completely mind-gamed his opponent. The hidden Stargates have been hidden for so long, and they're actually going to pay off for him. And now Straight Edge is trying to start up Void Rays himself. But it's too late. I mean, he's going to lose every single Colossus, and as his whole ground army dies, there's just no way he can catch up in terms of air units or anti-air units. This number of Stalkers isn't even enough here, as he loses his natural expansion, and Straight Edge is just going to be like, what has just happened to me? And he calls GG, and Team Extreme Supremacy, Levy, finishes it off and clinches the series for his team to take a 4-2 victory for Team Extreme Supremacy.